Hello, it's me, Luminary again. Yeah, I know I haven't shaved in a bit and I haven't done any vlogs, but what can you do? Alright, so, what have I got on the list? I just picked up Dishonored, and I'm thinking if I want to share that or not. I should, but I've come to a realization on a few things, and one is that the market of the Let's Play is very saturated. It takes quite a bit to really get yourself situated in that area, and if you're not already established, you have to rely on other people to really push your channel for you. And it works sometimes, but other times it does not. Either way, so over the past year, what have I learned? I have learned that I've made a lot of good friends. I've met a lot of good people doing what I do. I mean, I'm very grateful for the people that I have met, but I wish I could do more. I know there was a period where I couldn't do anything, and it was because I was still in transit, and not much I can do about that. Being jobless for a year and a half, and in the middle of the desert, really puts a damper on things. But I've cut a few things out. I won't be doing my show Monday on Nordrzil Radio anymore. I need to focus on other things, not necessarily dealing with gaming and streaming, but just more personal, real-life things. And that extra 2 hours will allow me to do other things. I'm also going to trim back the Beard Wizards a bit, maybe make it a Weekend Warrior thing. I have no idea. We generally do that for about 2 hours, 3 hours. It just depends on the night and what game we're playing. But then Boom Body's more than welcome to stream instead. He's got a Beard Wizards channel set up on Twitch TV. I believe it's twitch.tv/TheBeardWizards or Beard Wizards, one of the two. And he can do whatever he wants there. It's if he decides to do it. He's got a great personality for Let's Play. All he has to do is do it. He does have the potential to become something great. Myself, on the other hand, quite honestly, I don't get any feedback from what I do, and maybe it's just me being self-conscious, but I don't think Let's Plays are really my thing. I love playing games. I love sharing the experience of gaming with you, and if you've followed me this long, you know that gaming has been a real big part of my life, and I use it for everything, from instructing to entertainment to just... it's pretty much what's kept me alive for this long, I guess. It is my lifeblood. But I really love sharing the experience with the people that have showed up on Twitch at twitch.tv/luminaryw. And met some good people there. Vortak, he has given me quite a bit of a shout out, and he caught me while I was doing Darksiders 2 on Twitch, which reminds me, if you want to watch beyond what I already have on my channel, you can see the first two lords get taken down on Twitch TV. I've got the footage. I think I uploaded it. I just need to release it. But I believe I still have some other footage that needs to go first. I found the Skyrim playing button on Twitch. And I fired that up. And it works rather well. Had a lot of fun. I love sneaky games. I love sneaky games. Like, the best thing beyond what we have now would probably have been Tenchu, and I loved Tenchu, and I love deception games like Techno's Deception, for example. I love everything about setting up a trap and trapping people who come through the area that you're supposed to be protecting or guarding or getting revenge or whatever. So I love doing stuff like that, and I think Dishonored's going to be a good fit. I just need to decide if I'm going to do it no kill, which sounds difficult, or if I should just kill everybody. I might just kill everybody. I love the stealth kills, but I think it's going to get a little redundant after a while. Just like any stealth game, because I mean, it's pretty much sneak up behind him, press a button, and sword to the neck, and he's done. Move on to the next target. But I love the sneaky gameplay. I mean, I could do return back to doing the news segments that I was doing before. It wouldn't be too bad. I was thinking about doing it, and I don't know. I've just been in a real weird gaming rut lately where I'm not sure what I want to play, and if I play it, if I'm going to enjoy it. And I have lots of games that have been gifted to me, games that I've bought, games that are just free. And I'm not exactly sure what I want to do. I know I picked up a bit of the Binding of Isaac on Twitch. That's where I met Soapy Box, and he's pretty cool. He's from Ireland. Um, no, there's an I'm really talking straight from the hip right now. I don't have anything prepared to really talk about other than this stuff. I'm still actively looking for a second job. When that happens, I'll definitely be cutting back everything that I do because sleep is valuable. It just depends on what it is because really everything on YouTube is all about luck and talent, and I haven't exactly found what my niche is. I've had lots of great ideas, like I wanted to do a one-act play online with a few of my buddies, or maybe just voicing it all myself and having somebody machinima it out with some other thing, adding their own art and putting my voice to it, because I've got a decent range. It's not perfect, but like I had an idea of an orc from World of Warcraft walking into a bar and just ranting and raving on the events that have happened since the release of the game, on Garage, and how, now the portal opened and all of a sudden we get space goats, and just goes on and talks about how the Lich King and now we have to work with the Alliance, what the hell's going on, and now we've got these little green bastards. What is he doing? Why are we letting these people run? I mean, just on, and at the end of it, the bartender, the bartender looks at him, he's like, well, you should just take it easy, and at that moment you hear the door open, and there's a Pandarian asking for any, you're like, you think I could get some green tea? I can't seem to find any anywhere. And there's like a 2 second to 3 second silence, and the orc just goes, "What the and just call it good from there. I thought that would be rather hilarious, but I don't have the skills or the software to really tear apart World of Warcraft to do the model viewing and everything else. But I thought about entertaining that way. I don't know. Really, I'm doing it all for fun. I would love to do this for a just because it brings in money and people enjoy what I do. And it's not like it was last year where I had, a good 10, 11 people who would tell me what's going on and how well I'm doing, and going from there. Now it's just me, and I've got Boom Body with the folks at the radio station. I've got to Raven. But if they're anything like me, they don't watch anybody else's content except for a select few. And I really need to get out there and watch other people's stuff. Like, when I get home, I immediately go to Northern Lion. And then I go to Jesse Cox. And then I go do my own thing. That's what I do. I need to get out there and look at some other people. And I've been paying more attention to Twitter lately to see if I can find more talent that I could watch and find somebody I can enjoy or even possibly work with, because there's a very slim chance that I'll ever work with Total Biscuit or Jesse Cox or Northern Lion. They're all busy doing their own thing. So I'd rather work with somebody who is not necessarily ascending or climbing, but who appreciates the fact that there are people that want to do this because they want to do this, not because it brings in $1. I mean... Don't get me wrong, it's not like that my monetized videos haven't made money, but I have a feeling I could do more. I could do more. I just don't know what to do. I don't know where my niche is. I don't. I seem to do really well ranting about video games, but it ends up being a personal anecdote later about my experiences with it and how I feel about it. Which could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. Like, for example, I can't stand to play any MMO, and I feel so bad because I told Boombody and Enigma of Max Gamer and the Beard Wizards and Nordrazel Radio that I have no intention of playing Guild Wars at all. I'm not even going to buy the game. I find it's a waste of time because it's another MMO. And the concept behind an MMO now is pretty much have everything handed to you, and especially the free ones, or the ones where you have a freemium price to pay, such as you buy the game and you can do everything you want in the game. You can play the game forever for free, but if you want extra stuff, extra extra anything. You really have to pay for it, like extra dresses, maybe an XP boost, but nothing really to offset the power of the game. But running around killing stuff in a clown suit is nice. Yeah. I told both all of those guys that I had no intention of buying it, and Enigma said, "Well, what if it shows up in your mailbox one day?" I'm like, "Well, I'd give it a shot. I'm not spending any money on it at all." And lo and behold, Boombody was kind enough to buy it for me, and I tried it. I did. I did exactly as I said I was. I tried it. I played up to a level about 25, did a little bit of PvP, and called it good. That's it. I'm at a loss. I don't know what to make of it other than it's another MMO. It's another WoW clone. Push button to win. And not to sound nostalgic and like every other EverQuest freak, I don't think the experience that is available now is going to ever amount up to what I've experienced in the past. And I don't think any experience from here on out is going to equal or rival the experience that I've had in the past. So there's no sense in me paying money on it. I've got a WoW account that is completely activated right now that I won't play. I won't play it at all. So the state of MMOs right now is the fact that everything is pretty much handed to you. You're guided through this quest system to attain levels, and of course then you've got the grinding, the trade skill grinding, and everything else that goes along with it. Like a lot of the places where EverQuest went wrong was doing the alternate advancement system, but it ended up being an integral part of your leveling. So not only did you have to level to max level, but you also had to grind out these special points to invest in other things. And mind you, you did cool stuff like almost undetectable invisibility as a rogue, instant assassination as a rogue, extra buff time and buff power for your bard songs, just stuff. And I think that it was its biggest downfall because now it had another grinding treadmill, and a lot of the MMOs have this grinding treadmill, which is why, you know, come to think about it, Farmville and other things of that nature, even Rage of Bahamut, which Ashlea of formerly of Nordrazil Radio had talked to me about and recommended, and I did it. I made it to level 10. She got her fancy card for it. But it's also another grinding treadmill that I'm not too keen on. It was great for passing the time. I'd be out on the road and be like, I'm bored. Let's play some cards. And I would play and call it good. And I think, you know, the extra 5-10 minutes to do that is great. But it started not necessarily consuming me, but I find myself picking up my phone and playing it more and more. Then I got to start thinking. I was like, you know, maybe I should buy one of these legendary card packs. And then I had to stop, and I'm like, no, not getting into this. I'm not that big into it, and the game really isn't all that great. Same thing with Farmville. It became a big collection treadmill. I mean, the growing and selling of plants was the fuel to buy more stuff for your farm and get more money, which is fine. But the other stuff, like the whole trading on Facebook, I have so much Facebook spam for Farmville. It's ridiculous. And it's another grinding treadmill. You do all that stuff, and you attain the highest level. And in order to increase your level even further, you'll need a bigger plot, which means you need more friends, which forces you to talk to other people. And if you're anything like any gamer that I know, is that you're not necessarily socially awkward, but you tend to do things on your own, which is good. And it's bad, but if your Facebook friends are like your mom and the rest of your family, and none of them play Farmville, it doesn't really matter. And if you're that deep in, you're not even playing Farmville anyway. You have your head stuck in Dishonored and WoW and everything else. But anyway, so the state of MMOs right now is pretty much a hold your hand to the end of the game type thing. And I think I really did have high hopes for the Old Republic. I did, but they combined the treadmill with a story, which was great, but you start running out of story. And then, of course, you've got... That just reveals the grinding treadmill ahead of you, and I heard that getting some of the best armor in the game for the raids was absolutely ridiculous to get. It would take weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks, and I can understand why the companies would do it, because if you ran through the game in a month, you wouldn't have that reoccurring subscription that fuels your company, which is fine, which is a good reason why they went free-to-play. I don't see anything really that's going to pull my attention back to a game. I mean, even Eve. Eve was sandboxy, but I didn't like it. It was another grinding treadmill. And that's just it. It comes down to a grinding treadmill. And I've become very selective on what grinding treadmills I get on. Like, Skyrim. I just went through and I got Master Blacksmith by making daggers. I traveled around Skyrim so much and collected so much ore and iron bars and made so many daggers just so I could do upgrades on my armor. And I did it all off camera, but it was just a large pain in the ass. No cheating. I went straight through it. And it was worth it because the adventure really has me gripped. It does. These other games don't have that type of hold on me anymore. Like I would say in some of my other stuff about a year ago, is EverQuest would drag you in by the adventure that you create yourself. You weren't bound by this starter quest and then you go on. You jump in. You don't know what the fuck's happening, so you just talk to the nearest person. And he says, kill some bugs. Okay, well, I'm going to go kill some bugs. And then you just go from there because the bugs aren't really doing it for you anymore. You go to the next area, and you do the same thing. You start talking to people. They're like, hey, we've got this problem. Can you do it? You get special mobs. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've had my face stomped in by a hill giant. You know, it's part of a quest for another epic. It just gets ridiculous. But the treadmills are just not. I'm very picky. I am, and I don't know how the industry can fix itself from a standard that is so familiar. And people whine about it because something's too hard, or something's too. What am I saying? Too hard, or something's too easy. It's their condition to like this sort of thing, which brings me to another point of the formula for fun. I've really been looking to the indie developers to really step it up a notch, and I say that in the sense of do something different, and they do for the most part. Minecraft's brought back that adventure feeling for me. I don't play it very often because I'm not an adventurer anymore, but I am creative. I love building stuff, and it's a lot of fun that way. What else is there? Trying to think. Darksiders 2. It does have a leveling system, but it's not a grinding treadmill that you go through. You're actually progressing through the story, and it kind of holds your hand, but it's still open world per se. You can pretty much do whatever you want, explore wherever you want within reason of the current abilities you have. So it's more Zelda-ish. Like in Zelda, you couldn't get across a particular area to get to a cave unless you had the ladder or the raft, and you can just go. Like even one of the levels you couldn't even get to, one of the dungeons, unless you had a raft, which you got in the previous dungeon, and you couldn't get into that dungeon unless you had the other thing. And I think the first 2 dungeons were interchangeable. You could do anything you want, but everything built on top of it. So you knew the direction you had to go. Once you got there, it was like, I need something to cross this water. Well, I need to go find a dungeon I can access and see what I can find, or go find a shopkeeper, or go from there. And I think that's what Darksiders 2 really brings back to the table for me. I enjoy playing it. I mean, even Skyrim, I love the idea of going out there, and I don't have to follow the main quest. I did everything I had to in Whiterun, and said balls to the rest. I didn't even do Whiterun for the first, 15 episodes. I was like, oh, I need to stay away from this. But something drew me back there. I was like, screw it, let's just go do it. Let's go get my food. Oh, I know what it was. Saul asked me to. He wanted to go see dragon shouts, and I was avoiding dragons like the plague. I was like, I don't want to fuck with them right now. Not at all. But and that one, and I think one of the problems with that game is that even if you do some exploring and you do some dungeon clearing, if you pick up a quest that requires that dungeon, I believe it breaks the quest, because you can't get the thing that you already got, or you can't kill the mob that you already killed. You don't get credit for it. I don't know. Either way, I think that I'm done rambling, and this has pretty much been a ramble. I should do more rambles. I like rambling. There's quite a bit going on that I just want to talk about. Maybe I'll pick it up again. At any rate, I'm Luminary, and I'll see you next time.